Welcome to Teacher Tania channel, where today we're going to learn some secret math cheat codes to completely skip long division. If you're a fifth grader, or honestly just someone who wants to save a ton of time on math homework, you are absolutely in the right place. Have you ever stared at a massive, scary-looking number and thought, I really do not want to divide that out just to see if it works? Well, this explainer is going to give you superpowers. We're diving into divisibility rules, which are basically math cheat codes that let you just look at a number and instantly know if it divides evenly.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap. We'll be going over what divisibility actually is, the last digit rules, adding up the digits, the end digit rules, the ultimate combo, and finally, we'll wrap up with your master cheat sheet.
All right, Section 1, what is divisibility? Let's figure out the actual goal of these cheat codes.
To put it simply, we define divisibility as dividing two numbers without leaving any remainder. Think about it like having a plate of freshly baked cookies that you want to share with your friends. If you can pass out all the cookies so that everyone gets the exact same amount and there are literally 0 cookies left over on the plate, well, that is divisibility in action.
Let's look at the difference. If you take 12 and divide it by 2, you get a clean 6. It works out perfectly. But what happens if you try to divide 12 by 5? Well, everyone gets 2, but you're left with a remainder of 2. Because we have that annoying leftover, we say that 12 is not divisible by 5. And here is why this matters. Divisibility is exactly the same thing as finding factors. If a number is divisible by another, like how 12 divides evenly by 2, that number is officially called its factor. Finding factors is a huge part of math, and knowing if a number is divisible by another means you're instantly identifying its factors. It's a complete 2-for-1 deal.
Moving right along to Section 2, the last digit rules. These are our cheat codes for 2, 5, and 10.
You know what's so great about the rules for 2, 5, and 10? They are ridiculously simple. You can just ignore almost the entire math problem and strictly look at the final digit, the ones place. For the rule of 2, the number just needs to be even, meaning it ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. For the rule of 5, the number has to end in either a 0 or a 5. And for the rule of 10, it is the absolute easiest. The number literally just has to end in a 0. That's it.
So let's play math detective for a second. Is the number 635 divisible by 5? I want you to mentally block out the 6 and the 3. Just look at the very end of the number.
Yes, it is. Because the ones digit is a 5, we know instantly that it works. Absolutely 0 long division required. Now contrast that with 513. Even though 513 starts with a 5, don't let it trick you. It ends in a 3, and since 3 is not a 0 or a 5, it totally fails the test. 513 is not divisible by 5.
Okay, Section 3, adding up the digits. Here are your cheat codes for 3 and 9.
This is honestly such a cool trick. To test if a larger number, like 324, is divisible by 3, you don't actually divide the whole thing. First, you just add the individual digits together. 3 plus 2 plus 4 equals 9. Then you look at that new, tiny number. Is 9 divisible by 3? Yes, it is, which tells us that the giant number, 324, is also perfectly divisible by 3. And by the way, the rule for 9 works the exact same way. If the sum of the digits is divisible by 9, the whole number is too. All right, now it's your turn. Is 412 divisible by 3? Grab those digits in your head and add them up. What do you get?
Well, 4 plus 1 plus 2 equals 7. Now ask yourself, is 7 divisible by 3? No, it's not. 3 goes into 6 and it goes into 9, but it skips right over 7. So our shortcut instantly tells us that 412 won't work either.
Next up, Section 4, the end digit rules. Let's unlock the codes for 4 and 8.
These rules are kind of like cousins to the rules of 2 and 5, but you have to look a tiny bit further down the number. For 4, you check if the last 2 digits form a divisible number. So for 536, we just look at 36. Since 36 is divisible by 4, the whole thing is. And for the rule of 8, you look at the last 3 digits. Picture trying to divide a giant, scary number like 1,231 by 8. Setting up that long division on a test would take forever and give you way too much room to make a silly subtraction error. But using our shortcut, we literally just check the last 3 digits, 231. 231 does not divide evenly by 8, so the entire giant number fails. But look at 1016.
grab the last 3 digits. That's 0, 1, 6, which is really just 16. Does 8 go into 16? Yes, twice. So 1016 passes perfectly. That's the power of these cheat codes.
Here we go. Section 5, the ultimate combo rule. The rule of 6.
I call this a combo move because 6 doesn't actually have a unique rule of its own. It borrows from its friends. Since 2 times 3 equals 6, their divisibility rules team up. To pass the rule of 6, your number has to pass both the rule of 2 and the rule of 3 at the exact same time. It's kind of like trying to get into a VIP club where you need 2 separate tickets to get through the door.
Let's put this combo to the test. Is 348 divisible by 6? We need to run 2 super quick tests in our head. Ready?
Test number 1, the rule of 2. 348 ends in an 8, which means it's an even number. Boom, it passes the rule of 2. Test number 2, the rule of 3. We add the digits together. 3 plus 4 plus 8 equals 15. Is 15 divisible by 3? Yep, sure is. Since it passed both tests, meaning it's an even number that also passes the sum of digits trick, it is a massive yes for 6.
And finally, Section 6, the master cheat sheet. This is your ultimate math toolbox.
We have covered a lot of ground today, so let's gather all of these incredible shortcuts into one highly organized summary toolbox. Here is your master divisibility cheat sheet. You've got the ones-digit rules for 2, 5, and 10, the sum of digits magic tricks for 3 and 9, the n-chunk rules for 4 and 8, and of course the ultimate combo rule for 6. Feel free to pause and write this down because having all these rules in one place is absolutely perfect for finding factors instantly and skipping the headache of long division entirely.
Learning math is all about discovering patterns that make problem-solving easier and honestly a lot more fun. Now that you're armed with these amazingly powerful shortcuts, I've got a challenge for you. What giant, seemingly impossible numbers out in the real world are you going to test your new skills on today? Check out license plates, phone numbers, or even the barcode on your cereal box and see if you can instantly spot their factors. Thank you so much for joining me today, Math Detectives, and keep exploring those numbers.